Hey guys. Hello there, good people of the world. There another day, another another day, another night, and another flight. So we're gonna continue the Pacific Edge tour. In case you don't know what it is, please do take a look at the website flightsimsafaris.com because there are flight plans there and a description, and you can see a map where the route is taking us. So, what we basically do here is running from North Canada, no, from Alaska, from Unalaska to the Falklands. So, uh, with smaller turboprop stuff. Hi there. We are Amal. I think it's you. I've got the streamer mode on. I cannot see your name fully. I'm gonna have to deactivate the streamer mode because I'm not gonna show the window anyway. So let's see. We're on. There's it's an airport which is called Port Hardy in Canada, and the code is Charlie Yankee Zulu Tango. Where the heck is the streamer mode stuff, dude? I Hello. I want to deactivate this. So let's see. Let's see. Streamer mode. No, deactivate it. Deactivate this stuff. I don't need it. I don't need it. Yeah, go out. Amal, are you able to talk on this channel? Or are you only able to listen? Everything is fine, just so I know what I should be doing with you guys. You can talk, that's all right. Hello. Which server I'm on? West Europe. Yeah, it's actually the thing is that this is a some kind of a new endeavor. There haven't been many people flying with us yet, so but I only have so much time on my hands. I cannot post it everywhere. I put it on the forums and on Discord, and so I'm trying my best, but I only have limited time. So how do you do? Excellent. Yes, yes, West Europe, please. May I ask where you're from? Jamaica. Okay, halfway around the world. All right. So it is, let me take a wild guess, it is about noon at your place, or maybe early afternoon, something like that? 3 in the afternoon. Okay. All right. So I need to set things up real quick. So, what do you know what this tour is about here? What we're doing? Well, yeah. Where did you find this flight? Did you find it on the community calendar or somewhere else? Okay, so basically, this is part of an entire tour that goes from Alaska to the Falklands. It's a series of flights that is being done by people all over the place. So and I'm trying to. I'm actually streaming this on Twitch, but nobody can hear you. I've activated the privacy stuff, so people are only going to hear my voice and see my screen, and maybe they're going to see your plane while we fly, but everything else is not going to be disclosed. So let's take a look. I need to find my. Yeah, I'm an old man. I get stuff mixed up. So, and then, yeah, Charlie Yankee Zulu Tango. There we go. What plane are you going to use? I'm sorry, I didn't get that. H125? I don't know what that is. Helicopter. Oh, we're doing this tour in turboprop, so you can try to follow, but I'm not sure how fast this thing can go because the average speed is about 150 knots. Is your helicopter able to do this? Okay, yeah. Well, let's try. Well, what do you want? Whatever you like. You can try. It would actually be interesting to see if you can do it with a helicopter. I'm going to stay low. I'm not going to go above 3,000. So, but that would be a first, really, a helicopter flying along. Let's try that. Okay, let's see. I need a ramp to go from. Let's take parking spot number 2. Because I'm using. Excuse me? 2025? What do you mean? The simulator, yes. Yes, yes. It's 2024. So I'm flying a Kodiak 100, which is a turboprop. It's a payware add-on. And it was originally made for FS 2020, but it still works in 2024. Sort of. Yeah, that's me. Exactly. Okay, it takes forever to load here. I don't know. So I'm inside the plane now, I guess. Oh, it's raining. That's ugly. Let me just try to lure Rusty Spanner into the channel so it's easier for him to follow along. Would you mind joining the voice chat in Safari? There's that Rusty Spanner. Okay, so I need to start this thing up. It takes a moment because it's a little bit complicated. We do need lights today, lots of them. And de-icing, let's see the temperature. It is... What kind of temperature do we have? 9 degrees. Well, we can still put on pitot heat. And here we go. Usually we're doing legs between 1 and 2 hours. Not so long because, I mean, it's already late for me. I'm in Germany. It's, what time is it? It's 9 p.m. So I usually don't have a lot more time than 1 or 2 hours. And I think that's good for most people. There we go. Turn on the engine. NG at 20. There we go. This plane is pretty cool because it has some kind of memory. If you do not treat this plane with respect and according to the manuals, it's gonna remember, because it's wearing out quickly, and once the engine has worn out too much, or any of the other mechanical parts, then it is going to break apart. The engine is going to blow up and stuff, and you're going to have to switch to a different. You need to end the flight basically and have to switch to a different setup. You can switch back and forth, but I mean, what's pretty cool is that the plane kind of remembers how you treat it. And it's got flight time and block time, and the flight time is kind of the mechanical time that you put into the plane, which is pretty cool, I think. Yeah, well, it's just a numerical counter, but still, I think it's a pretty cool idea. That you have some kind of incentive to do things right. So, full forward. Usually I don't really make flight plans. I know what our destination is for tonight, which will be, let's take a look, 112 nautical miles to Comox. If you want to use GPS or something, I can give you the code for the destination. You guys want to, then you can put in some flight plan or make some direct GPS route. So the destination will be, I'm going to put it into the general channel. CO Charlie Yankee Quebec. That'll be our destination. And let's take a look. Hello there, Rusty. Let's take a look at the winds. We've got 6 knots coming from the west, no, from the east. Yep, that's alright, you go ahead. We're gonna line up on runway number, what are we gonna take? 36. I mean, you helicopter guys, you don't mind. But I'm gonna pick runway 36. That might make sense. So I'm not gonna talk to ADC. That doesn't work if so many people are taking part in the flights. It's gonna get complicated. Let's just see if this stuff works. Yes, it does. Okay. Parking brake. So what do you think about, Amal, what do you think about 2024? Does it work for you? You wouldn't go back, okay. Okay. Yes, when it works. The one problem that I had until a couple of days ago, I actually had to buy, not especially for the simulator, but I had to buy new hardware because some old graphics card and stuff. But before I did get the new card, it wasn't fun at all, because it is more taxing on the hardware. It really is. But it doesn't really look much better. Some details do look better, for example the trees, but not necessarily the landscape, and the photogrammetry doesn't look any better. So it took a while for me. Okay. 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 All right. So let's see. I need to find where my runway is. There it is. Okay. Is it especially a thing with the helicopters that are bugged? Okay. 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 That's weird. Yeah. Okay. That is weird behavior from the simulator. So we've got someone else coming along, I guess. We've got pilot Jason. Let's see if we've got some other people joining in here. That's curious. Oh, I can see you, but you're flying a regular plane for me. You're the ace driver guy, right? Okay. Well, but if you can take a look at the stream. What I'm actually what I am seeing is I'm not sure what it is, what kind of plane. I don't know them all, but it is a single prop. You're flying an airplane, basically, for me. It doesn't matter. It's not really. It's not important. Okay. Okay. So we've got somebody. Oh, cool. We've got somebody else coming along, and he does have a. He's got a. Now I can see a helicopter. Yes, that's a. Okay. I see. Isn't that a? Turn around, please. Let me see it from the side. No, it looks from the front. It looks a bit like a Yui, but I guess it isn't. Nah, but it looks a bit like a Yui. We've got two guys with the same name. Weird. Sunai Tabs. Excuse me? Yeah, the avatars. Okay. Yeah, sometimes they stay outside of the plane. Even though they're actually flying. I had that yesterday. So he's coming out. You're good so far. Let's wait for Rusty a couple minutes. Okay. This is also a weird airplane, really. It's not really an airplane, it's something, I don't know. What is the range of this thing? Yeah, no, the range, the amount of nautical miles it can go. I mean, we're going about 120 miles, so I guess it will be able to do that. Okay, I see. Okay. No problem. Yeah, but because it has 5, no, it's got 6 motors. Holy cow. And you've got to have an exceptional view from inside the cockpit. I mean, it's glass all over the place. Mm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that is something that I cannot do. I can of course do it for some time, but it wouldn't work with this plane because I have to keep some of the instruments in view. It wasn't made for external flying. So let's give him 1 more minute before we actually take off. What's the time? It's 10 past, so it's actually cool to have someone from Jamaica. I never ever talked to someone from Jamaica. It never happened. I don't know why, but it never happened. Not that I know of. I've been in the States a couple of times, but and probably there are a lot of people from Jamaica there, but I never have been talking to one. So, hello there. Nice to meet you. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to line up and then we'll take off. I've got my lights on. Let's put on the landing lights. And high idle, otherwise we're not going to get off the ground. Here we go, flaps 20. So I'm going to fly low and slow so it's easier to follow. Yeah, is that working individually? Okay, so you can basically just accelerate time and catch up to me. Oh, I'd never tried that. That's curious. Okay. That's like cheating. Okay. Yeah, well, but won't you get some kind of penalty if you do it in missions? Okay. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to take off. "70, rotate and take off." So very nice. What an ugly weather. Yes, I'm on live weather. I really do like that. I mean, if the weather is bad, that's just how it is. I'm gonna have to deal with it. And if I need to do some IFR, then so be it. But I mean, if you can do whatever you want, it's all right. So let's just raise the flaps. Did you turn on the live weather? Turn it off, come on, because otherwise it's going to be difficult to see because the sky is so full. Turn it off, it's easier. We're here to have fun, not to play cat and mouse. So I can see at least, I can still see the airport down there. I'm going to turn autopilot real quick and put in our destination. That was Charlie Yankee QQ, Charlie Yankee QQ. Charlie Yankee Quebec. And America. Excuse me? Charlie Yankee Quebec, Quebec. So the name of the airport is Comox, COMOX. CY Quebec, Quebec QQ. All right, so let's just put in the and activate the autopilot so it heads into this direction. Yaw damper on. We're gonna stay at 2,000 feet, so that should be working for you. Hello. What is going on? There we go. And I'm going to reduce the speed. So you're the ice driver. How far can you go? Not how far, how fast can you go? Excuse me? Come again? $300 knots. Oh, okay. Okay. You're... Oh, that's the H125. That's an Airbus. That thing is from the Airbus company? That's what it says on the label here. I have labels activated so I can see people, and it says Airbus. Okay. I seriously have never heard about it until I saw it in the simulator here. So I'm gonna fly like 100 knots. You might be able to follow that in real time, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and activate the auto speed. That should be working. I hope. Flaps are up. That's all right. You know what? Maybe I'm going to turn on nice weather. It's just so shitty outside. For once, I'm going to cheat. Custom weather, and let's take something that's a little bit more agreeable. There we go. Clear skies. Ah, that's better. Yeah, you're actually catching up. This thing can fly pretty fast. The H125. There is this annoying game overlay that I don't want to go away. They always put in new stuff into Discord, and I really, really don't want this stuff inside of the game. That annoys the hell out of me. Okay, are you playing on an Xbox or are you a PC guy? Excuse me, PC all the way? Okay. I've not. I still don't have anybody who joined in with an Xbox. I mean, it's supposed to work, but the flights that I've done so far, they never were with people which were using an Xbox. I seriously cannot imagine flying with a controller, with an Xbox controller. There are probably some peripherals that are also some real, I don't know, joysticks, stuff like that, that work with Xbox, but I've never been a console guy. That does work with the Xbox? That's what you're using. Okay. I had that one as well at some point. It's pretty good. It works well. In 2025, no, 2024, I mean, the only thing that I got from it was some, I think it was a sim update or a world update, but the marketplace itself hasn't been activated for very long. I think it was only recently that you could actually use it. Okay. I have actually... Okay. The payment process. Okay. Yeah, I did have... I did have that with 2020 at some point, that I wasn't able to actually pay, although I do have a Microsoft account which has payment activated. I did buy Microsoft stuff at some point, but for some reason the marketplace didn't work, and then I stopped trying it, and then I bought stuff from third party. But I don't know, the marketplace, it's pretty buggy. It's always been. You're doing pretty good formation flying right there. Okay, I see. Okay. Okay. That's convenient. Yeah, I see. Absolutely. It kind of looks like a drone, actually, with so many props on it. Yes, that's true. I have been using I don't use it currently while doing this multiplayer stuff, but I'm using a software which is called Say Intentions. I don't know if you've heard of it. It is basically it's an ATC simulation. It's a software that runs in the background, and you can. I don't know if are you using VetSim or any of these kind of networks? Okay, all right. Yeah, there sometimes people would do like to connect to some real world ADC, and there are different networks. And one of the endeavors that have been developing over the last couple of years are AI-powered ATC kind of simulators. That's a software that you can talk to it. It's got speech to text and text to speech, and it basically is able to. It's able to recognize your voice and your intentions if you say it correctly, at least somehow, and it's going to behave like real ATC for the most part. It's got bugs, and it's only. Yeah, something like that. And the real fun part, actually, but it's very buggy, but it's still fun, is that you can talk to some kind of what should I say? It's a little company. They call it SkyOps, and there's a guy who will receive from you requests for missions, for search and rescue missions, for I don't know, cargo missions or VIP transports, whatever. And you've got some kind of crew who's talking to you, and it's all powered by I don't know if you know the concept of large language models, something like ChatGPT. You've probably heard of that. And there in the background there's some speech generator, and it's going to talk to you like humans, and that's pretty fun. It's buggy as hell, but it's pretty fun. So sometimes I'm just going to do that instead of this career stuff from Microsoft, which is also very buggy. But excuse me? Yes, there are missions, but it's not going to be recorded. You don't have some kind of career mode where you can look up, where you have some kind of table where you can see what kind of missions you did. But it's still fun because not exactly. There are some things that it's going to do for you. For example, you can. It is going to put some kind of scenery into it. It's going to place something into the world so you can see what you're actually going to rescue. You can see some. It's dynamically generating the rescue mission, so it's going to put in some little guys, and they're going to throw smoke grenades or shooting flares or stuff like that, and you can fly there. You can recognize where the problem is, and I have to increase my altitude, or I'm going to crash into the mountain real quick. I shouldn't be talking all the time. So, and that's sometimes it's pretty fun to do that, but it's also buggy as hell because artificial intelligence generally doesn't work as well as advertised. But it's fun. They're charging $20 a month, so it's expensive, and you don't probably I won't use it all the time, but I did get a subscription for 1 month and just try it out. But I like the idea, so it's nice to have some kind of missions. Yeah.
500.
That you can do it yourself. You mean you can create missions and then Hmm. So some kind of virtual airline stuff where you can have a career. Yeah, yeah. That does exist, but only as add-ons, not native inside the simulator. I'm gonna have to fly higher. The mountains are pretty high here. So I think we kind of lost the other guys. Oh no, Sune Taz is still there. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, but there's somebody behind us. Very nice, very nice. That's one of the joys of something like Flight Simulator. You're going to be able to assemble a group of guys from all over the world who would never have met at all. No chance, but in this kind of environment you can bring the world together, quite literally. I love that. So, if I may ask, where on Jamaica are you living? In the what's it called in English? For crying out loud, the capital. Montego Bay. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. Is that in the where is that one of the bigger cities? Okay, excellent. Do you like to fly over your own country or your own island? I see. Okay, yeah. They need some kind of world updates. Yeah, that's a problem. There are some parts in the world that which aren't represented very well. But I can see actually in Germany I can see my own house, which is pretty cool. I can fly over my city and see my own house. It doesn't look exactly like the real thing, but it's pretty close. It's close enough that I can recognize it. So that's awesome. And that's something that's absolutely that hasn't. I mean, this is what actually made me go into the Microsoft Flight Simulator stuff, because no other simulator does that, right? Oh, unfortunately, X-Plane doesn't do it really well. They don't have a representation of the real world. You can see streets and the basic stuff, but you won't be able to recognize your own house because it just doesn't work. They don't have the kind of scenery that Microsoft has. So no, but they don't do streaming. So what Microsoft essentially does is that they're streaming Bing data, the map data, and so that's actually working very nicely. Let's go for heading here. And put on the autopilot. I need to put in the right altitude. We're at 5,700. There we go. Flight director and autopilot. You can still keep up? Yes, you can. Your thing is probably a whole lot faster than mine. My maximum speed that I can go in the Kodiak is like 175 knots. It's not really a fast plane. but it can land on a dime, almost as good as a helicopter. Oh dear God, it's like 30 degrees. This plane does have a cabin temperature simulation, so you can basically see how hot it is, and the cabin temperature is like 30 degrees Celsius. I don't know why, because I mean it's cold up here. It's only 6 degrees outside, but inside the plane it's really hot. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Probably. I made a couple of flights over at New Zealand a couple of weeks ago, and you probably know the Lord of the Ring films, right? Do you know the movies Lord of the Rings or the books? And I mean, most of the films, most of the movies have been filmed on New Zealand, right? On the islands of New Zealand, North and South Island. So what they essentially did in many cases were built sets, movie sets. And there's still, many of these sets still exist, although the films, I mean, the films have been created, and there wouldn't have been any need to let these sets still remain, but they did, and they're tourist attractions. And what I did was create a tour and try to fly from set to set, because in New Zealand you can actually visit some of the places that were there in the movies, like the Hobbit town and stuff like that, or Mount Doom, and you can actually see some of those sets and some of those sceneries inside the simulator, which was pretty cool. You can actually see Hobbiton and Mount Doom, the big, the mountain where Sauron lives and all that. There are a couple of locations which you can actually recognize in the simulator. I was totally fascinated, because that's a level of detail that I did not expect. Bitch and Betty is complaining. Excuse me? No problem. You can catch up with time things. I don't know what it's called. Time acceleration. Sim rate, right? Sorry, I'm never using this. I don't know the word for it. Yes, I understand. It really is. Yep. Yeah, that does make sense. Absolutely. I think we lost the other guy. I can't see him anymore. It's an awesome landscape around here. Yeah. You mean on? You mean there's a difference between Google Maps and Bing? Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, the thing is that they're basically that what's inside the simulator, as far as I know, I could be wrong, but they're basically using the Bing Maps. That Bing Maps is the equivalent from that's the equivalent. It's the equivalent to Google Maps, but by Microsoft, and they use the chart data or the satellite imagery that they get from Bing inside the simulator. But yes, I know there are differences, and I discovered these differences also in the United States. Sometimes, even in little towns, you can see that Google Maps shows things very differently, and there sometimes you even have. Yeah, and I think the Microsoft stuff is older. It depends on where you go, but the stuff that you can see inside the simulator, sometimes it doesn't. For example, houses do not exist here in the simulator, which do exist in Google Maps. So there are differences. Yes. Something that I really like to do is when I'm doing these tours and recording them, I'm taking a look at Google Map first to plan the flight and see what might be interesting to look at, because Bing Maps is shit. But I like to use Google Maps. But in the end, I'm being disappointed because it doesn't. But because the place that I wanted to fly to doesn't really show up in the simulator, or vice versa. It is. There are differences. Yes. So it's not you. It's it's the goddamn simulator. Yeah, 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 yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, 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 that's true. That's true. Yeah, I agree. But I guess it's because it's a U.S. company, so they think that the center of the world are the United States, which in some aspects they are, but not in others. And they're decentering themselves right now with a certain new administration. I'm not going to talk about that, but you know what I mean. So, let's see if we can recognize. Oh, there's the cabin that I bought 10 years ago, right there, of course. And there's there's the deer that I shot 10 years ago. There's still the skeleton. Unfortunately, I don't know why, I've never been able to get rid of the co-pilot. Whatever I do, I cannot get this guy out of my cockpit. He's literally glued into his seat. I can remove the weight from the co-pilot seat. I can try to remove the co-pilot from the simulator settings, but whatever I do, this guy is still here. And I cannot even switch the avatar. I would like to have maybe like a girl or something, but this fucking guy is still sitting here and I cannot get rid of him, and he's smirking all the time. I don't know why he's smirking, but he's like, I would like to punch him in the face because he's smirking all the time. It's not funny. And he's blocking my view. I mean, I could see so much outside of the co-pilot window if his goddamn head wasn't in the way. Mm? That these are the main problems I have to deal with uh, with pilots that are glued to the seat, crying out loud. I think we're not that far from the United States anymore, right? This is still Canada, but at about like 100, no, not even that, like 90, 80 miles to go towards the south. Yeah, maybe 100 miles. We're going to be inside. There's Friday Harbor that already belongs to the United States, I think. Yeah. We're not going to go this far tonight. We're going to go to Comox and then call it a day. But it is, it's a nice route, I think, that we're going to fly here. You're very welcome to join in anytime you want. So if you see me online doing some flights, I'd love for you to join me. You can add me as a friend if you want to. You don't have to, but that makes it easier to see if somebody's online or not. Yeah, that's true. I think so, yes. Because yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Or maybe at least have a list of people that are online and give some general, I don't know, coordinates so you can get an idea where they are, but not restricted to the server, but to the entire world. That would be nice. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think that 2024 is in many aspects still a very unfinished product. They rushed it out the door. I don't know why, but it is when I still think that I bought it too early. It's probably gonna take another year until it's really until you would be able to consider it a finished product. Because I mean, it was the same with 2020. It took a whole lot of time until it was good. But they really messed up with 24 in the beginning. I don't know why. But right now it works pretty well. At least in free flight, it's all right. We can use it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Yeah, it's one of those bucks, I guess. I don't know. It's buggy as hell in many aspects. Sometimes it even I there are in the I don't know if you're flying the missions like uh, there are some initial I don't know the missions for the beginners where you only have to fly to a place and then do a circle around a certain city or something, and then you fly back to the yeah, the sightseeing tours, exactly. And these sometimes they punish you for things that you didn't even do. So you're going to get a score at the end, but the score is gonna get diluted because they think that you did something wrong, which I didn't. For example, land off the runway, which I didn't. I did land on the runway, but they considered it to be off the runway, and that doesn't make any sense. So there's a whole lot of stuff to fix still. Yes, I do. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. That's actually a good idea. I never thought about that. But the problem is that I'm... Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, the problem is that this indicator doesn't show up if you fly in cockpit mode. And I do most of the flying in cockpit mode. So, yeah, I know what you mean. So that's I never thought of that because I don't see this particular compass indicator. Mm-hmm. I can, yeah, that's it, you mean I have a magenta line that's for the GPS stuff. Does it work? I actually don't know. I'd have to try out. Yes, I think I do see it, but the problem is that the GPS line usually is quite off. You can see them. You have these boxes in the air where you are supposed to fly through. There's these for the route that you're supposed to go, and the boxes are a different route than the GPS one. So it's always a little bit set to the left or right. And if you follow the GPS route, you're not going to be able to fly through these boxes, so you're going to get your score is not going to be as high, which is a little bit silly, really. But I don't know. It's not that much of an issue, really. I don't use the career mode a lot, but I mean it's part of the game, and I think there are a lot of people who do enjoy this, so they should fix it. Mm. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of ghost trees. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but that's not the resolution to the problem. That's just trying to fix the bug in ways that are not plausible, really. Yeah. Un- yeah. Unless you're Sylvester Stallone and can fly helicopters really, really good. but, but we're gonna. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Lazy ass. Okay. Well, if he's got a broken leg, he's not gonna come to you, right? I mean, or if he's unconscious, you're gonna have to land beside him. Please do him the favor. I mean, the poor guy. Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. I see. Yeah. I was just joking around. I get it. It's simply broken. It's not consistent. Yeah, okay. Let's see. We're going to go to descend because our destination is coming up in a couple of miles. So I'm going to deactivate the autopilot, and you can probably see the airport at like 1 o'clock over there, the big one. You can just follow in if you want to. Yeah, that's where we're going to land. A 3D mouse? What do you mean? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that some kind of trackball? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Is that... okay. And does it work well for you? Okay. Okay. So does it have some kind of receiver? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was asking if it has some kind of receiver. Is it something that can recognize its own position in... I mean, does it have some kind of gyrometer? You know what I mean? That if you... can it recognize the what's it called, the force from the earth? What's it called? Give me the word. No. So yeah, something like that. But so what does it? How does it work? Does it have some kind of receiver? Okay, I see. So you have some kind of base where it's sitting on. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I see. Mm-hmm. I see. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I see. Well, well then in some sense it still behaves a bit like a joystick, right? in some ways, not necessarily rotation and stuff like that, maybe not, but in the end, if you can move it forward and backward, it's still a bit like a joystick. Okay. Did you ever try to play using VR, virtual reality headset? Okay. Well, I did try, but I got sick. I couldn't use it. Yeah, because there are people, there's some people like me, for example, who have, there's this, I don't know what it's called. It's some kind of motion sickness, yes, but it's a special version that is in virtual reality. So if you the discrepancy that you have between what your eyes see and what your body actually feels, that doesn't work for me. I really do get sick. That's unfortunate, because the if you can see things in 3D, that's actually really, really cool. But I got a headache pretty soon and I got sick, so that I had to stop using it. But that's unfortunate because it's really cool. It really feels like the real thing. No, only your body doesn't feel it. Yeah, yeah, I see. Yeah, absolutely. I can understand that. I always wanted to become a real pilot, so I have a different view in that. And unfortunately, my eyes weren't good enough. I wasn't able to become a pilot. I wanted to be a commercial pilot when I was younger, but I couldn't because of short-sightedness, and that was the end before it actually began, the career. So I'm doing it in simulators. It's better than nothing. So let's see where can we park this thing. I don't see any. Let's take a look at the chart. Are there any buildings here? Yes, there are. Let's turn right. Yeah, but I really do like this plane, this particular one, because the model is cool, and I like all those little switches and stuff. I really like to just fool around with it as it would be, as if it would be the real thing. It's fun. It is just a nice little distraction from the complicated world out there. So let's turn stuff off. That was nice. Thanks for flying with me. That was awesome. Go, shut it off. Go away, you silly fuel. So then, I guess you're gonna have a nice afternoon and good evening. There are other flights? Okay. That's excellent. There's always something going on, really. That's pretty cool. A lot of people doing stuff. Okay, so take care. Thanks. I guess I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Take care. So that was that. We had one silly spammer tonight and a new Jamaican friend. That was awesome. So I guess I'll see you soon. Take care.